town that was just starting to get the touches from the outside world of the revolution that was about to take place, it was like, it was a big thing. It blew people's minds. It blew people's minds who even considered themselves hipsters and hippies and had done everything.
The social climate was, there are no rules. Civil disobedience was somewhat the order of the day. Whatever you're doing, right or wrong, just do it. And that's why you're doing it. And it's the only reason you need to do it. Because you believe it, you were inspired to do it, and if you believe it and you believe you were inspired to do it, then do it.
And now for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Hippies, yippies, zippies, sickies, and freebies are expected to turn out in legions tonight for the premiere of Nashville's first prefrontal musical film, The Lobotomy, at the Exit Inn.
We thought, we're so brilliant, why are we broke? Let's think of some way to generate money. And so we decided to write a musical, and we started right then and there writing The Lobotomy, a musical operation.
We made up these little mimeograph tickets for the lobotomy. And we sold them to everybody in town for $1. You know, we hadn't written the play yet. But we sold it to everybody, millions of them. We sold them to everybody. You know, some of them bought 4 or 5, you know. And finally the time came where we had to do the play, you know.
They did probably Nashville's first underground kind of film. It was called The Lobotomy.
I did introduce the cast, but I don't know who in the fuck they are. Bring up numbers.
Well, Zilch was a doctor, and Star was a nurse, and she had balloons for tits, so they were like out here, and then he ended up biting them, and they'd pop and stuff, all kinds of stupid stuff. And the songs were like, Easy Cutting. And we just took songs and changed them around. So let's go to the lobotomy. 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 Let's go.
A young woman named George, who emceed the show, explained that a lobotomy is an operation to sever nerves in the brain to relieve anxieties. She suggested that people who have had the operation become emotional vegetables.
Get on the table, you idiot.
Suture!
Suit yourself.
Scalpel!
It was sold out for 2 nights in a row. We made a lot for us at the time, a lot of money. And then we had the premiere, the film, The Lobotomy, the musical operation. And it was fantastic.
Well, hello there, Dolly.
Hi, Carter!
This sure great to be back here.
Everyone in the audience started throwing shit. You know, they brought tomatoes, they brought shredded lettuce, they brought all kinds of shit. And so when they started throwing stuff, Star and Zilch started throwing it back. So there's shit coming back and forth. And this time it was videotaped.
Dr. Zilch has a BS, an MD, NVD, an FD, NVDD, an STP, plus a P. Drake autographed steel guitar string.
She had an autographed steel guitar string from Pete Drake. Now, how can you autograph a string? But that was in the movie, and everybody just howled.
Oh, it's such a thrill and a pleasure being here.
But we just played it by ear. We really played it by ear. It was just... And somebody said, "Hey, George." I knew he had a camera. I knew he had a camera. So I just pulled up my... It was a dress that came down to my feet. It was a velvet dress that came down to my feet. I pulled it up and pulled the panties back so you could just see that one cheek and see the tattoo.
George and Star, you can tell by that picture, they're pretty remarkable people to take for granted just in your background. It seemed like they were all out of a Kerouac novel or something. Well, I mean, you wear a sword around and you're going to get a second look.
And Red Dog Saloon took the people who were far left, You know, they got their start there, and that was their kind of forum. And there were a few just outrageous groups. I mean, there was no boundaries at all. I mean, probably the stuff that was going on in that club would have freaked the people in San Francisco out, you know. And then I first saw her there, and they were on stage. It was more performance art type of thing, you know.
Before New York had street performance artists, Nashville had George and the Arizona Star.
There was nobody bigger than George and Star in Nashville while they were here, the entire time they were here. There was no greater news. There was nothing more creative or interesting than what they were doing, being themselves. They are their own art.
They were always George and the Arizona Star. They were always in character. You'd never see them sitting in a corner in a diner somewhere being bummed out. Their lights were always on bright.
We went in to see David Bowie once, and she just stole the show, just walking in the place. We walked in the place, and the light went on us coming in. When he was with Ziggy Stardust, we went in this big auditorium, and we stole the show. We used to sneak in the Grammys. We snuck in the Grammys and Country Music Awards. You know, went just went there, and somebody in the parking lot who was from the Pancake Man says, "Oh, have you got a ticket?" No. We walked in with him, and okay, see you later. And then we were in, you know. Well, another time we just got there real early before they were even looking, and we just walked in the back door and stayed in the bathroom until it started, and then walked out of the bathroom. We were there. So we used to crash parties and stuff.
Oh, I love show business.
Some people didn't get Star, you know. I did. I thought she was funny. She made me laugh. She'd go on and on, make up stories, and she was actually better in the restaurant at like the Pancake Man than she was on stage. Because in the Pancake Man, she would just go on and on. She'd sit there and put on makeup for hours and hours and hours, just put it on and talk. And everybody in the place would just gather around and listen to her. And she'd make up stories and stories and stories and stories, and everyone would just be fascinated by her.
I am very multi-talented. Anything you want, I can do it.
I'm multi-dexterous.
I've done everything in my lifetime. I've been a mistress. I've been a milkman. I've pumped gas.
A woman named George is fast becoming the Ted Mack of the East Bay. George, she says she has no last name, has been doing her show for 2 seasons. She books the acts, produces the show, handles the crew, sets up and sings the song herself.
It was called George and the Superstars of the Future. The Crazy Kitchen Cats. And here they are.
I'm glad. I'm so thankful that I was here at the time I was, when you could go on 2 streets and cover all the bases.